Hello class, and welcome to another session in digital storytelling. For this particular session, we will be focusing on still images and how we can engage an audience in an ongoing story, specifically by introducing a threat and a victim, or a threatening force and a victim of that force. You'll see that there is some, it's open for variation, what that force might be that is threatening, and what that victim may be who is threatened. And I think that a fantastic way of going about looking at this possibility is by looking at horror movie posters. I have 5 of them that we're going to cover, and they will show you an array of means by which you can engage an audience through that audience's sense of threat. As humans, we are interested by threat. We are fascinated by threat. When we recognize that something is threatening, we want to understand that threat in order to engage it in the most intelligent way possible, because that is the #1 weapon that we've developed as a species. So you see here, I feel like a meteorologist because, well, it's a storm cloud, but it is a storm cloud with a face and fangs, and it is threatening this suburban home. And this is engaging our sense of threat in a myriad of ways, because we see it as threatening the home, the suburban community in which this home most likely resides, and also our sense of home, because that is where we feel the safest. And that is what this movie is actually, eventually, if you watch it, trying to engage our sense of threat for, because it is introducing this demonic external force into this place where we feel safe. Safe to the extent of feeling extremely and existentially bored even, such as a suburban community. And you'll see that again reflected in this next picture, where we have a house that is not necessarily divorced from us as the viewer so much. We might even be seeing this happen from a window within that house, with the doorbell being rung by a disembodied hand, literally disembodied hand. And I think that this actually kind of engages us more directly in this sense of, oh my gosh, you know, a demonic force is at my doorstep. What am I going to do? Call the Ghostbusters. You can see a little bit of a different take on this same theme of developing a threat or threatening force and a victim of that threat. This is a classic image. I don't really need to expand upon it too much. But you can see how we have a vulnerable human body who if we were involved in this at all, we would want to warn her, but we cannot. This is engaging us in our sense of threat, which is tied to our interest to see what's going to happen, going to see what happened next. We want to see what happens next. And so, again, a classic image of a threat and a threatening force and a body being threatened. We have a little bit more of a classical take on this, maybe more complicated as well, because you can see how the vampire Nosferatu is portrayed here, standing upright, maybe not so much a clear threat or demonic force, though his face is recognizably disfigured. He's kind of the protagonist as well. He's standing in more of a heroic pose. I personally think that this movie and this poster are fascinating, because I think that it gets at what makes the vampire most threatening and most dangerous, which is not that he is out and out this vicious creature. He is seductive, and you can see that the woman, who is not necessarily portrayed as being in great danger, is actually in the particular form of danger in which vampires create. She's in thrall of the vampire, of Nosferatu, which is exactly what scared the viewers of this movie the most, the idea of having their willpower used against them by something that is not in looking out for their best interests, to actually have their minds be warped by a demon being from hell. So very, very cool take on that, and I think illustrative of a complex story in a very clean and interesting way. And finally, for another example, we have a very favorite movie of mine, The Thing, here portrayed as a crack in the ice, reaching out actually toward you as if threatening your body directly. This is indicative also of the complexities of the horror in this movie, while engaging our sense of interest through threat, because the Thing, you will know if you've seen the movie, is a force which cannot be easily recognized. It's something that doesn't reveal itself to you. It's something which hides. And here it is bodiless. It is just a crack in the ice reaching out toward you. These are just a few images that portray this sense of threatening force and threatened body, whether that threatened body is a more of a concept like suburbia or a suburban home, which through your sense of home and your trust of your own home engages your sense of threat, both for that home and the people who reside in that home, and for your own, or something more disparate from yourself, something separate from yourself. You want to protect that woman's body. She is out swimming in the middle of the water, no land in sight. The most massive and distinctive thing in the frame being the face of the silhouette of the monstrous shark, which is going to eat her, and engaging your sense of threat and story through that, or actually reaching out toward you and indicating directly to you that you are the body being threatened. These are all different techniques for engaging an audience in a compelling story and getting them to listen, getting them interested in listening. And thank you for joining me today. I hope everyone has a great night. I'll be in the Grand Canyon for a while. Thanks, Alan.